Most people think success feels exciting. They imagine productive mornings, non-stop motivation, big wins, and constant progress. They think successful people wake up every day feeling inspired and ready to conquer the world. But the truth is, most of success is painfully boring. And honestly, that's the part nobody wants to hear. Because discipline is not dramatic. It's not motivational music playing in the background while your life suddenly changes overnight. It's repeating the same small actions when you don't feel like doing them. Again, and again, and again. That's why most people never stay consistent long enough to see results. Not because they're incapable, not because they're lazy, but because they expected growth to feel exciting all the time. Think about it. The gym is exciting for the first few days. Buying a new notebook feels productive. Starting a new routine feels powerful. But after a while, it becomes normal. The workouts stop feeling special. The motivation fades. The routine becomes repetitive. And that's usually where people quit, because they were chasing excitement instead of building discipline. The uncomfortable truth is that almost every meaningful result in life comes from doing boring things consistently for a very long time. Reading when nobody is watching, saving money little by little, practicing a skill quietly, going to bed on time, showing up even when your mood disappears. None of these things look impressive in the moment, but over time, they completely change your life. And social media has made this even harder, because now we're constantly surrounded by highlight reels. Everybody online looks like they're making huge progress every single day. Big achievements, big transformations, big announcements. But what you don't see are the hundreds of quiet, repetitive days behind those results. Nobody posts the nights they wanted to quit. Nobody uploads the boring practice sessions. Nobody records the moments where they showed up tired, distracted, and unmotivated. But that's the real work. Success is usually built in silence. And honestly, boredom is one of the biggest tests of discipline. Because your brain naturally craves stimulation. It wants novelty, entertainment, quick rewards. That's why scrolling feels easier than studying. That's why starting something new feels better than staying committed to something old. Your brain gets excited by beginnings. But successful people learn how to survive the middle. The middle is where things stop being exciting. Where results are still invisible. Where progress feels slow. Where motivation disappears. And most people don't fail because they can't start. They fail because they can't continue once things become repetitive. For example, imagine two people trying to get in shape. One person works out intensely for 2 weeks, burns out, disappears for a month, then starts over again. The other person does simple workouts 3 or 4 times a week for a year. Nothing extreme. Nothing impressive. Just consistent. Guess who changes more? The second person. Not because they were more talented. Not because they had perfect motivation. But because they accepted the boring process. That's the part people avoid. We want dramatic change with minimal repetition. But life doesn't work that way. Even confidence is built through boring repetition. People think confident individuals are naturally fearless. Well, that is not true. Confidence usually comes from doing uncomfortable things so many times that they stop feeling unfamiliar. Speaking up repeatedly, practicing repeatedly, failing repeatedly, trying again repeatedly. It's not glamorous, but it works. The same goes for productivity. A productive life is rarely built through giant bursts of motivation. It's built through systems, simple routines, clear priorities, daily habits. And yes, those habits can feel boring sometimes. But boring is stable. Boring keeps your life together when emotions become unpredictable. That's why relying only on motivation is dangerous. Motivation changes constantly. Some mornings you feel unstoppable. Other mornings you feel mentally exhausted before the day even starts. Discipline is what carries you on the days your emotions can't. And no, discipline doesn't mean becoming a robot. It doesn't mean forcing yourself to suffer every second of the day. It simply means learning how to act based on what matters instead of acting based on temporary feelings. Because feelings change quickly. But your habits? Those shape your future. And here's another thing people misunderstand. Being disciplined doesn't always feel good in the moment. Sometimes it feels frustrating. Sometimes it feels repetitive. Sometimes it feels like you're doing all the right things and still seeing no results. That's normal. A lot of progress is invisible at first. Just like going to the gym for 1 week won't completely transform your body. Reading one book won't instantly change your mindset. Saving money for 1 month won't suddenly make you wealthy. The results come later. And that delayed reward is exactly why discipline feels boring. Your brain wants immediate proof that your effort matters. But real growth usually whispers before it screams. At first, the changes are small. You become slightly more focused, slightly calmer, slightly more organized, slightly more confident. Then months later, you look back and realize your entire life started changing quietly. That's how real transformation usually happens. Slowly, repeatedly, almost invisibly. And honestly, there's something peaceful about that. Once you stop chasing constant excitement, you stop emotionally restarting your life every week. You stop needing every day to feel perfect. You stop quitting just because things feel repetitive. Instead, you learn to trust the process. You learn that consistency matters more than intensity. You learn that small actions done daily are more powerful than rare moments of motivation. And maybe that's the real difference between people who stay stuck and people who eventually grow. One group keeps searching for excitement. The other learns how to keep going even when things feel ordinary. Because the boring days matter too. The small habits matter. The nights you study instead of scrolling matter. The mornings you get up even when you don't feel like it matter. Those small moments may not look life-changing today, but over time, they become your life. So if your progress feels slow right now, if your routine feels repetitive, if your habits feel boring, that doesn't mean it's not working. It might actually mean you're finally doing things the right way. Because the boring truth about becoming successful is this. Success is usually built through simple actions repeated longer than most people are willing to repeat them. Not glamorous, not exciting, just consistent. And maybe that's exactly why it works. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button. It really supports the channel. And if you enjoy simple ideas that help you build a stronger mindset and better habits, make sure you subscribe for more.